In a world where gun people are bored and they've decided to make big bullets go slow, we have Q come out with the 8.6 Blackout. A big, heavy 300 grain bullet designed to be what I believe was a requirement, that they were looking for a suitcase gun that would shoot subsonic ammo at 300 meters and still be able to take out a human target. Then we have its little brother, or maybe it's big brother, the 338 ARC. Hornady comes out with it, rushes to the market with it, and makes some super bold claims. Some of the claims are, it will use regular AR-15 lowers. It burns less powder. It does everything an 8.6 does in a smaller, more compact frame, and should be compatible with the ARC line of magazines. Is this true? I don't know. Do you even need a big bullet traveling slow? I don't know. So today, I have a Ballistic Dummy Labs ballistic dummy, and we're gonna take it out to at least 300 and see what it does and just prove it to ourselves and find out which one's better. Our test bed equipment today, the rifles that we have is a CMMG Mark IV Descent. Overall, I really like this rifle. It has a side charging handle on it that's pretty cool. I'm using an Arkin 7-35 optic on it and the Dead Air Nomax 33, so they're 338 can. It's what I had. This is a 16-inch barrel. We're not reviewing the gun. We're just using this gun because it's what we have. The other test bed gun that we have today is the Q Boombox. It does have a shorter barrel. It is the Q short chop suppressor. It has a loophole 2-10 on it, the Mark IV, and it's chambered in 8.6 Blackout. All right, guys, the test bed ammo today is Hornady Subsonic. This is their 338 ARC, 307 grain Sub X. The other ammo that we have is the Hornady Black 338 ARC, 175 grain hollow point. For the 8.6, we have Gorilla Ammunition, and this is the 8.6 Blackout 342 grain Punisher Subsonic. And then we have the Gorilla Ammo, the 190 grain Punisher factoring. It's supersonic ammo. So we've got subs and supers for both guns for the testing. So right now we're gonna go set up our dummies, our gel, our targets, and we'll get started. Transcend, it is for your health. Transcend has completely changed my health, 100%. The BPC 157, just everything that they've done for me has been incredible. I've lost almost 25 pounds. I'm becoming in the best shape of my life. I feel better than ever. I'm not tired. I don't have brain fog. Go to Transcend. They will have a doctor look at your medical stuff and tailor it to you at no cost. If you want the best out of your health today, go to Transcend, use the link below. Okay guys, one of the questions that I have, and I think you might have, is what is the max effective range of an 8.6 Blackout or a 338 ARC, both in subsonic and supersonic rounds? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my Garmin chronograph, and I'm gonna fire 3 rounds each, and I'm going to take the speed, put it into my ballistics calculator so I can find out the speed and the energy. Then we'll do a little bit of research and we'll find out what speed these bullets should open up at based off of what the manufacturers say, and then what is the energy on target. There's been a lot of different reasonings throughout the past on, hey, we think 450 foot-pounds of energy usually will do the damage on a human, and where you might need somewhere more like 8 to 1200 on a larger game animal. So this cartridge fulfills a hunting role and a target threat human role, possibly self-defense. And so what is the max effective range? Let's test that now, and then we'll actually test it on the ballistic dummy. So the first one we're gonna shoot is this Hornady 307 out of the ARC, and let's get 3 rounds out of it. Dude, the wind is, all right, 1008, 1032, 1025. Kinetic energy at the muzzle is 716 foot-pounds of energy. So that's not bad, 716. All right, guys, we're switching now to the Hornady Black 175 grain hollow point. This is supersonic ammo. Let's see what it'll do. That's not bad. Kinetic energy 1700. That's a big difference. average feet per second is 2108, and average kinetic energy is 1734. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. Okay, guys, so this is the 8.6 Blackout with the Gorilla. This is the Gorilla Hunt. It's the 342 grain subsonic Punisher series. Fired 3 rounds out of it. 942. .901.
Dude, you're dyslexic.
Oh, I am.
You just read 942 for 925 and 901 for 910.
So I really am dyslexic.
Are you actually?
Yeah, so I read, I put the numbers, flop them back. I take the back one and flop it.
952.
No, 925, Micah, 925. Jeez. All right, this is the 8.6 Blackout Gorilla Hunt, the 190 grain Punisher series. I have heard that this seems to be the one that most of the guys prefer to hunt with, right? The 190 grain, that's what I've been understanding. That recoil is way harder. All right, so this one, so Micah doesn't make fun of me, 2,084 feet per second on average with kinetic energy of 1,867 pounds. That's pretty good. Let's see what, let's compare it to a 5.56. Okay, guys, I totally realize that this doesn't really matter, but I just thought it might be interesting for you. So this is a 16-inch 5.56 with 77 grain Sierra Match King out of it, and let's just see what 3 shots of it does. Okay, it was the only one I could hit the target with at 200 every time. Okay, average of 2672 feet per second, average kinetic energy of 1,204 foot-pounds. It's not bad. All right, guys, so here are all of the numbers. With the 338 ARC, the 307 grain bullet at 300 yards, which is what these guns are stated to be, is a 300-yard gun. 850 foot-pounds of energy, which is shocking to me. We ran the ballistic calculator, and the heavier bullet stays about 970 feet per second, and about 800 foot-pounds of energy to like 600 yards. It's crazy to me. That's what the calculators are saying. We need to prove it. But the 175 grain out of it, 1,522 pounds of energy, 1,700 feet per second. The 8.6 with the 342 is 580, which is crazy because it's just like 50 pounds less at 300 than it is at the muzzle, but 848 feet per second, and then the 190 is 1,611 and 1,678 feet per second. Now, if you read the ballistic calculators on what is actual effective range, and you're trying to stay over that 450 to 500 foot-pounds of energy on target, I mean, it's going past like 700 yards. Can you actually hit the target at subsonic at that far? That's a completely different answer because the bullet is not stable when it's under subsonic. So would it kill at 6 or 7, even 800 on some of these? Yes, it would kill if you could hit it. But can you consistently hit it? No. But do I believe that based on the numbers with the subsonic that we can consistently hit the 300? I think so. With the supersonics, 100%. I think you could take them to 5 and hit really well, and maybe we'll do that. But for sure to 300, both these guns are going to get the job done. But I really want to see how the bullets open on the ballistic dummy. So let's go see what it'll do. Going to try to strategically place my shots. So what I'm going to do is, I found when shooting the dummies, it's easier to shoot the targets. Make sure you have your dope correct, and then bring it over and shoot the dummy because the dummies are not cheap. And YouTubers keep these guys in business, but we do love them because it's entertainment. So what I'm going to try to do is strategically place them and then say, okay, subs, we'll do the 338 and then the 8.6, and then we'll do the supersonics, try to strategically place them and see what it does at 300, which is what it's advertised to do, and it should get all of the capability out of the bullet ballistically for terminal ballistics. But let's see. To go over this scope, this Leupold Mark IV 10 pound 2 to 10 only goes 12 mils. That's it. And I had to hold an extra 3 mils to be able to get it to 300, which is why I say maybe it'll go 500-600, but like I, had to hold. Dan, did I hit it?
You headshotted him.
Got him?
Headshotted.
Yeah, it's a headshot.
A headshot. I headshotted him.
Yep.
I headshotted him. Whoa. Did that go through him, Dan, and go out the other side?
It sounded like it smacked. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the bullet, like one of the things when you're shooting these ballistic dummies is you might see and you're like, whoa, why was I like 10 foot off? Sometimes if it hits it and it comes out, it goes a different direction. It's kind of crazy. Did I get it?
Yeah, that went through him.
Woohoo! Let's go look. All right, this is the 190 grain supers, which is kind of weird because most everything is 1 mil at 300. And this is it. What is the rifle 0 to 100?
100, and you're only dialing like 0.1 mil.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm going to tell you guys one thing about the ballistics on these heavy 338s right now is it's weird. Dan, are you out of the way?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, go.
Recording. All right, I'm safe.
Did I hit him?
Hold on, let me check.
I'm safe. You're good.
Yeah, you did.
All right, here we come. One of the things I find weird is I've done ballistics for 20 years, and so it's very wonky in that it carries energy and almost doesn't lose energy for way further than I thought, carries the same speed way further than I thought, but the dope is wonky. Like, I had to come down 0.5 to hit him right there when almost every one of my other calibers, 300 is always one. Like, you could always take that to the bank. 300 yards is 1 mil. Just take it to the bank. And that's weird to me that it's doing this, but let's go see what happened. My first shot, I domed the guy, and it took the back of his head off, and he didn't make it. But where did I hit him when I domed him? This was with the subs. Oh, did I hit him right in the eye? Look at that. Got him right in the eyeball, and literally just blew the back of his head off. I don't know that we're going to be able to get that on slow-mo because I didn't have it in frame. But next shot with the subs was right through the chest here. I was having to hold about right here for the wind and went through the lungs, and it looks like, dudes, it just came out. Looks like it came out here, and then I could see in my scope that the bullet went through and hit about 20-30 yards back to the right of the target. So hit the left of the target coming in, and the bullet skipped over here. I'm not even, I can see that the bullet, I think, opened, but it didn't do a lot of damage. But, and then when you look at it on the slow-mo, it didn't do a lot of damage. Like, you can see that he got hit, but he didn't really. Now, when you threw in the 190s, which I hear is the favorite of Q. Q, jump in there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear that they're the baddest boy on the block. And I got this sucker in his shoulder, and dude, you can see where this thing opens up. You can see the petals everywhere and how it just demolishes this entire shoulder blade and just leaves petals everywhere. And not only left the petals everywhere, it shot it out another 30 yards and it just went skipping down the road. So the 190s, and also the level of like impact that you could see was incredible. But you could look right here and see all these little shards in there, the little petals as they came off. And the 190 is not subsonic, but did a lot of freaking damage on this thing. And like I said, the dope was wonky. But now let's go see what the 338 will do.
Smells like corn tortillas.
I can't smell anything. I must have COVID.
It sounded like it flapped.
Oh yeah, I smacked. Did you
Yeah.
hear that?
Yeah.
That was like a, oh, ow. And just like the last one, I have to aim a little bit lower. Here we go. All right, guys, pretty interesting. So the first time I shot it with the 338 arc and the subs, I mean, you can see where this thing freaking opened up like crazy, but I didn't hit anything like massive with it. So I refired, I drilled old boy in the collarbone, and you can see that it created a gigantic wound cavity right there. And this is quite honestly what I expect Hornady to do. Is that the tip of the bullet right there? I think this is the tip. This is, that's the Hornady tip. Look at that. This is what I expect from a Hornady bullet. No kidding. Like, it just shredded, ripped, and mashed things up in their hunting bullet line. We had some troubles with the supersonic. Again, everything is weird. Like, everything is usually 1 mil, and we were having to aim 1 mil low, not 1 mil high. But we finally plugged it right here in the lungs, and you can't really see. You can see that it completely thrashed out, came out the back. I can feel pieces of the ribs inside of there, and I mean, it blew a pretty nasty hole in the thing. And so, like, all in all, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. If I'm picking ballistically wise, I'm gonna say the 8.6 and the 338 arc are really, really close to identical in ballistics. If I'm picking which one I'm gonna pick right now, I'm gonna pick that Hornady bullet, because the Hornady bullet outperformed whatever bullet the Gorilla bullet was in the subsonics. If I'm gonna pick the supersonics, I'm gonna pick that Gorilla 190, because it is a freaking beast mode and thrashes everything. I know we're doing a ballistic test, but my friend Jason Knight from Forged in Fire made this knife, and he gave it to me because we designed a knife together that's gonna come out. And I just wanna know, like, if you pulled this and sliced a dude's belly, will you get to his guts? I honestly don't know. So let's just see. Oh my gosh, I did. I realize this is not really like a human, but look at that, dude. That's like that's a deep cut.
Jesus Christ.
Well, listen, he no work here no more. He no work here no more. Dude, that blew his brains out. That's that one. It blew his whole freaking skull out. Micah, look at that. That's his whole skull. It's not even there anymore. I don't know why you don't feel. It's like, have you ever seen the movie Face Off with John Travolta?
No.
This could be it. Like, we could take his face off. But it blew his whole head out. Okay, due to a fundamental disagreement with my camera guy, I'm going to shoot both of these into ballistic gel with the high-speed camera, so you, the viewer, can decide which one's better. I think the Hornady bullet's better, and my camera guy,
You're just saying that to avoid saying Micah.
Micah's gay. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, but that's pretty nasty, Micah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Now,
nasty. That's nasty. It didn't penetrate.
the problem that you're going to run into the same problem that I ran into. Now, the difference between you and me, the Gorilla ammo didn't perform. I just postponed my video for a week and got ammo that did.
Well, those people didn't want to be my ammo friends, and so I just have these two ammos. Ah, man, I shot the table again. Look at this. All right, here we are. 8.6 Gorilla. I mean, legitimately, like if you're going by the way ballistics are supposed to go, Hornady won.
So 100%, the Gorilla did better.
No, it did not.
It did.
Micah, stop it.
Okay.
Guys, listen.
Hold on. We're gonna get the other one now.
Micah, he didn't want to do this video, so he wouldn't be in it at all.
I already did this video.
Until my conclusion was completely different than his, and then he was like exploding.
Because I didn't use the Gorilla ammo. I used ammo that was good.
The Gorilla ammo worked. I like the Gorilla.
It didn't work for me at all.
It just worked right here. And the Gorilla 190, like if I'm killing animals,
I am curious why it worked for you and not for me, because we have the same gel as well. And it was colder on my day.
It worked.
Okay.
Like I'm a fan of the Gorilla ammo.
So here you go.
But the Hornady did explode bigger.
No, this is undeniable proof that you are incorrect. Boom. Look at that massive fucking cavity.
Go to the other one. It's like the same size cavity.
Hold on.
Hornady just opened up and stayed inside the block. But the cavity's like almost exactly the same.
We need to get a battery. Hold on. Look at that.
Yeah, dude, the cavity is like almost exactly the same.
No, dude.
It's like almost exactly the same.
This one.
Micah has literally jacked with me for the last year so freaking much that I'm learning to get under his skin, and I'm very much succeeding at this. And if you want lessons, DM me on Instagram, and I will teach you how to literally ruin Micah Mayfield's day and get in his brain. Just like my 17-year-old daughter got in his brain so much for missing the animals that he was shooting at, he literally, tears were flowing out of his eyes, and he literally stopped talking, and he was like,
That is pretty true. I'm not friends with her anymore. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll never talk to her.
All right, due to this massive rainstorm, we have to close this video out. And I'm gonna close it out like this. This is actually a tough decision for me, but here's what I'm gonna pick. Am I gonna pick 338 ARC, or am I gonna pick 8.6 Blackout? I think if you were choosing a bolt gun, if it was in a bolt gun, ballistically, they're identical. And the Gorilla ammunition performed phenomenally. You saw the photos. This was the Gorilla here, the subsonic 342, and the Hornady did really, really well based off of what I understand ballistic tests to be. Both ammunitions, both bullets did very well on terminal ballistics. I think they're literally almost ballistic twins. But here's the thing. And this is not anything on CMMG, because that is a fine rifle. I really enjoyed that rifle. Love the trigger, love the ergonomics. Actually really like the side charging handle. We did have a few failures to feed on it though. I think it's a magazine problem. And much like the 6 ARC, I have been not a fan of the 6 ARC since it came out, probably 3 years before you guys knew it did, when the Navy was working on it with Hornady. They just had magazine problem after magazine problem. That is the problem with 338 ARC right now, is there isn't enough support behind it. So if I'm picking today, I'm picking the 8.6 Black, I'm picking the Q, the boombox, because when you shoot it with subs, it's quiet, it doesn't recoil, it's light, it's handy. If you're a hunter, I don't know of anything better. But ballistically, I think both rounds are identical. Okay, here's where the 8.6 probably outshines the 338 ARC for now. As the Hornady machine starts rolling, there's some things. You can do a lot more with the 8.6 with the payloads. You can do incendiary rounds. You can do armor-piercing rounds. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with an 8.6. So I think overall it was a better design. But I'm just saying, with the bullets that I had right now to test, and if there's more bullets, I'll do this again. All of you bullet manufacturers out there, send me your preferred bullet. I'll do this test again, and we'll see what they do. But right now, I picked the 8.6 because the platform and the support behind it is better. But do I think 3 years from now that the 338 ARC might be something to like really push on? It may be.
I fully agree. I was hard on in my video on ARC, mostly because it bummed me out that a round came out without a platform. I don't think the round is terrible. The round is good.
Yeah, I think so. And I think as the support starts coming behind it, 3 years from now, it's about what it took 6 ARC to really start moving on. I think it's going to be tough. It'll be a tough one. But right now, today, I'm picking the 8.6.